Carson adored her. Kaye absolutely loved her to bits. But sadly, we've lost an icon of the entertainment world. And I wanted to share a little bit about her history and why she became such an international name without really trying. As ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning. Neil Sean here. Nice to have your company. And as ever, thank you so much for joining me. I do like to share these stories, as I say, because it is important. These people were part of our lives for so many years. And then sadly, in the latter part, when they fall out of fashion, you tend to go away virtually unnoticed, which is very, very sad, isn't it? I don't know if you know, recently as well, the wonderful actress Glynis Johns just reached her 100th birthday, I believe. Wonderful lady, appeared in many, many films, including No Highway in the Sky with Marlene Dietrich, amongst others, and still with us. Incredible to think, isn't it? A little bit like the gorgeous Mitzi Gaynor, who's still around as well, and quite visible on social media. Way to go, girls, eh? Now, what's interesting here is we're talking about a wonderful lady that I was lucky enough to meet at a garden party, actually, for theatrical retirees. The wonderful Brinsworth House in Twickenham. Well, every year they used to have a summer party and they'd invite many of the international stars of yesteryear. Rosemary Squires was one of them. A beautiful lady inside and out, just so, so sweet. Got a very big break in the 1940s appearing on radio, but her career truly took off in the advent of commercial radio. She became the jingle girl, the sort of voice that everybody wanted to use for their jingles. Now, her most famous was, if I tell you the line, hands that do dishes that are soft to your face. Mild green fairy, do you remember? Mild green fairy liquid. She was the voice of that for so many years. She said she didn't get as much royalties as people thought, but nonetheless she loved the association. But really, it was the 1950s and early 60s that saw her career soar. She was kind of billed with the very same beautiful voice as Doris Day, so Rosemary Squires was definitely a lady in command. But it was while going over to America to appear alongside Johnny Carson on his show on a number of occasions that she really came to public attention. So much so that she ended up recording some jazz albums, and on top of all of that, appearing with the likes of Walter Mitty himself, Kaye, and the ever brilliantly super talented Sammy Davis Jr. But of course, she decided after a while to come back to England and appeared in all sorts of things, cabarets, pantomimes, television guest slots, chat shows, that sort of stuff. In the latter part of her career, she decided once again to step back out of the limelight and just do occasional shows. She was awarded the MBE by the British monarchy for services to entertainment. But really, her memory, her voice, and literally her sound lives on. And I often say here on the show, she was a wonderful lady. Didn't really know who I was at the time, and I'm starting out literally in the business. She was so kind, warm, and friendly, and had so many wonderful stories to share. She was 94 years old, and she sadly passed in August. But as I often say here on the show, her memory lives on through footage, through guest appearances on television, and of course those wonderful recordings. If you've never heard Rosemary Squires, do yourself a favour, check her out. A wonderful voice, and I'm sure she'd be glad that her memory and her voice and her talent simply live on. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.